NASCAR Nationwide Series Subway Jalapeno 250 at Daytona International Speedway is presented by Subway, home of the famous $5 footlong. Subway, eat fresh. And in part by Verizon Wireless. Get the inside track from Penske Racing, race analysis from our drivers, plus highlights and more on VCast.
Cleanup continues as we get ready for another late race shootout here at Daytona International Speedway. Pit road open for the first time. Any takers among the front runners? Does not look like it, as we're only going to have a couple laps between now and the finish, and we've got some 28 cars on the lead lap. From the pit studio, Bestwick and Brad, I got some guys at the tail end of the pack coming in. So some things to look at here for the front of the field for this restart. Clint Bowyer is now, instead of being at the head of a single file line of lead lap cars inside the final 20 laps, he's going to have Carl Edwards alongside him.
It's going to be double file. It's what we talked about in the pre-race show. Just think of the scenario of having this restart, and now we're going to have it. But I'll tell you, Alan, the thing that interests me is watching Brad Keselowski. He has worked himself up into that top 5, and he has stayed there. He's got a really fast race car. I think he's one to be reckoned with before this thing is all said and done.
Question is, will he be behind Clint Bowyer or Carl Edwards for the restart?
Okay.
Depends on the lane choice that Bowyer makes. Now, Carl Edwards has some damage to his right front fender on that 60 car. There's a couple opportunities for him to have gotten it. First, little contact with his teammate David Reagan, the 6.
Yeah, you see David kind of pinches him down just a little bit and runs him down below the double yellow and gets into that left front. But I tell you, that wasn't all. I mean, Carl really had a tough time. They're getting this car sorted out. You see the 32 there, Brian Vickers just didn't see him, and once again comes down on that right front and scuffs it up a little bit. But I tell you, Carl's got fresh rubber on that race car, and he's got a fast car. I think he is the man to beat right now.
So does Clint Bowyer choose inside or outside for the restart? Can Carl Edwards get around him? We're going to come down to one of those Daytona shootouts again. Doc, DJ, and Andy.
Yeah, and Carl Edwards' tires are 21 laps newer than the guy in front of him and the guy behind him. And we mentioned that we have had green-white checkers 4 times this year, and the last 2 times we've had green-white checkers, the guy leading at the scheduled distance was not the guy who won the race.
But the good news for Carl Edwards is it's always been a Roush winner.
Kerry Earnhardt, after that scary fire, has been released and is standing by with Mike.
And as you mentioned, Doc, he has been released. He's clear, no injuries, no burns. But what happened?
Well, just typical Daytona. The 07 car, I think Chase Austin got loose up top, and I backed out, and he started coming down, and I trying to get up on the brakes, and I hit the 05 car, I think, in the rear, and then the people behind me got me, and I think we just all piled up. Hit the 05 and the 07 both, and then hit the wall and had a little fire, so I had a little inhalation of the fire and the fumes and everything, so I had my CO was a little too high, so that's what took me long to get out.
Well, the good news, Doc, is he is okay. He is walking away. Was treated for heat-related circumstances, and, well, he'll be good to go.
Look forward to seeing Kerry coming back. And here again was the contact of 31 car.
Yeah, this was the first
this was earlier
incident that he was involved in.
This is not the one where not the one where he was involved with the fire. It was a later accident here that he got into.
Yeah, the one on the fire was back on lap 77. Well, guys, a little bit of damage on the fenders. We documented that on a 60 car. How much will that affect Carl Edwards?
I would have to say it's going to be more of an effect now that he's up front in the clean air. I think that it's going to have a bigger effect there than when he was following Clint Bowyer, because that was kind of helping him in that respect.
I think the bigger problem that Carl Edwards has right now is that we only have basically 3 laps to go, and we've seen that inside lane have an advantage, especially early after the restart. So it's going to be really hard for Carl. And the other thing is Carl cannot beat Clint to that start-finish line. He has to make sure he is behind him, so he can't actually get that run that he needs to try to stay up beside him.
Yeah, and the other thing's going to make it difficult is we see the lineup here with Clint Bowyer, who has a fast car. He's got a fast car with Kyle Busch behind him, and so that helps him even more to get that push. So it's going to be a tough thing for Carl Edwards to, as you said, and get lined up and get that outside line back to where they can get to the lead.
28 cars on the lead lap and a green-white checkered. We wondered what would happen on the double file restart shootout style at Daytona if we got a green-white checkered. We're going to find out. It's already been exciting throughout the night with these restarts. And now Clint Bowyer on the inside, Carl Edwards on the outside, Kyle Busch behind him, Keselowski behind Edwards.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Keselowski make a bold move right here on this restart, too.
Hayes' car will pull away, and remember, as you said, DJ, the 60 cannot beat the 29 to the start-finish line.
Yep. You know, we talked about in the countdown show that the guys that might be in the catbird seat here might be the guys in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th if they can get a nice little run going. We'll see. Man, great start by Carl Edwards on the outside. He didn't beat him there either.
He timed it perfectly. He laid back just a little bit, but he had a little bit of momentum by the time they got there, and he's got it right now. Got a push.
Keselowski is just shoving Edwards in turn 1.
Yeah, and what he needs is that 12 car to get up behind him to really have a good chance. Man, what a start those two guys got.
Here they come off of 2, and Edwards has him by about 6 inches.
Oh, yeah.
Getting a big push from Keselowski. Gets him actually loose.
Yeah, you have to be careful, yeah, because he's trying to get over there to get a little side draft here.
Okay. Don't let that 18 under you.
Now Kyle Busch pushing Boyer. Boyer just trying to hang on to that car. It gets very loose in 3.
Coming to the white flag, and it's just like we've seen. Oh, look at that 10 car slide up there.
Well, Casey Kane up across the racetrack. And
he
trouble.
is all over the place. They got another crash.
Oh, Mike Bliss hard into the wall.
The white and the caution flag. And heavy damage. There's Bliss. There's a 23 car of Robert Richardson.
Well, that'll do it right there. They took the white flag. Looks like that might be the win for Clint Boyer.
And on the caution, it's where they are on the racetrack.
All right. Finally won at Daytona.
Childress needed that right now.
Good job there, Pookie.
He got his first career Daytona pole today, and he got his first career Daytona win tonight. Clint Boyer gets it done here in the NASCAR Nationwide Series.
I'm waiting to see that checker flag, then I'll holler.
Yeah, he's just like me. They're not over till you see that checkered flag, but I think it looks good for you, Richard.
Great job, everybody. Tribute there.
What you don't want to do is think the race is over, come down pit road right now.
That's
We've
exactly
seen that
right.
before.
We've seen it happen.
That's why you don't see Richard celebrating yet.
He's been around a long time, and now finally for the first time in his career, Clint Boyer will come down and take the checkered flag as a winner at Daytona.
The 18 almost pulled down there.
There it is. Now they can celebrate.
Guys. Hell of a job, Clint. You done it, buddy. Hell of a job. Good job there, Doug. Everybody.
Richard Childress, 53 wins and now 54 as a NASCAR Nationwide Series owner. A moment ago, we talked about the cars involved in the accident here coming to the white flag, and Mike Bliss able to get out of his car and walk away. Here's the crash again, coming to the white flag.
Wow, Robert Richardson basically just went across the racetrack in front of these guys.
Jason Keller involved. There comes Bliss across. He gets turned right into the wall.
Used up that one car.
Now from Robert Richardson's onboard camera.
Yeah, clear to the middle if you need it. Yep.
Now this is going to be eerie from Mike Bliss, who got turned back up into the wall as he almost got by.
All weekend long, Mike Bliss has been dodging wrecks, staying out, finding the holes.
Still outside, crash in front of you.
Out right here. Yeah.
They got him, guys. They got it. Hang on, Mike. Hang on.
Yeah, we could hear Robert Richardson's spotter telling him he was clear to the middle there, but he cut up a little bit too far. He wasn't clear of Jason Keller.
Everybody has climbed out of their car.
Drivers able to get out of the cars, and there is Clint Boyer still circulating here at Daytona, trying to believe what he has just done. He led the most laps here in February, and he did it again tonight. He led 3 times for 48 laps. The only difference is tonight, Clint Boyer is the winner at Daytona. When we come back, we'll talk to Clint, Richard Childress, the entire team as they celebrate the big victory here in Daytona.